Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sagar, Prabhu. First time I'm seeing. Hari Bol. Sagar, Prabhu. Okay. Please chant. Please chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I'm
Hare
trying
Krishna
to.
Prabhu, sorry Prabhu, speaking on mute. Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, please chant. We'll start.
Hare Krishna.
Some devotees will join for the readings, regular readings. You can
Okay.
by
Prabhu, at what time it will start, Prabhu, every day?
7:30 chanting time, but sometimes some devotees join, some devotees not join. But 8 o'clock
Okay.
onward, consistently we are
Bhagavatam.
doing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya
Okay.
Charitamrita, and the slokas recitations. Will you join and see?
Okay.
And then you
Okay,
can
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna
Thank you.
Chaitanya Sri
Yeah.
Vedanta Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavan Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Raju Prabhu,
हरे कृष्ण దండవత్ ప్రణామం హరే
దండవత్
కృష్ణ
ప్రణామం.
ప్రభుజీ యా
దండవత్ ప్రణామం. మీరే చేయగలుగుతారు కదా?
చేస్తా చేస్తా ప్రభుజీ
యా యా చేయండి, మంగళాచరణ కూడా చేయండి, చేసి స్టార్ట్ చేయండి.
ఓకే ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ ఓం అజ్ఞానతిమిరంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనశలాకయ చష్కరం మిలితం తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః నమో విష్ణుపాదాయ కృష్ణప్రస్థాయ భూతలే శ్రీమతే భక్తి వేదాంత స్వామినితి నామిని నమస్తే సరస్వతి దేవే గౌరవాణి ప్రచారిణి నిర్విశేష శూన్యవాది పాశ్చాత్య దేశతారిణి जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसाति गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्रभुजी ఏం చదవాలి ప్రభుజీ
భాగవతం.
కాదు ప్రభుజీ అంటే సుబోధిని అంటే
ఓకే ఓకే, దిస్ గుడ్ క్వశ్చన్ అయితే. I didn't share ప్రభు.
సుబోధిని షేర్ చేస్తారా ప్రభుజీ లేకుంటే నెక్స్ట్ చాప్టర్ స్టార్ట్ చేయడం
పని చేద్దాము. భాగవతము బాగా రోజులైంది కదా, ఇది ఒక చాప్టర్ అయిపోయింది, ఇంకో చాప్టర్ కూడా కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాము.
మనం ఎట్లాగో 2 చాప్టర్లు కంటిన్యూ చేస్తాం ప్రభుజీ భాగవతం
మళ్ళీ అయితే 27 ఓపెన్ చేయండి అయితే.
ఓకే
ఓకే.
starting material lecture. Yes, Prabhuji. My screen is visible, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
నారాయణం నమస్కృత్యం నరం చైవం నరోత్తమం దేవీం సరస్వతిం వ్యాసం తతో జయముదీరయత్ నష్టప్రాయేషు భద్రేషు నిత్యం భాగవత భగవతి ఉత్తమ శ్లోకే భక్తిర్భవతి నైష్టికి కృష్ణాయ వాసుదేవాయ దేవకీ నందనాయ చ నందగోపకుమారాయ గోవిందాయ నమో నమః. నమో పంకజనాభాయ నమో పంకజమాలినే నమో పంకజనేత్రాయ నమస్తే పంకజాయ. సో ఐ విల్ రీడ్ one or two.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Translation purport by Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead Kapila continued. When the living entity is thus unaffected by the modes of material nature, because he is unchanging and does not claim proprietorship, he remains apart from the reactions of the modes, although abiding in a material body, just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection on water. By example, even though we are in the material world, we can go back. We won't want to be in the material world. Even though we are in the material world, we don't want to be in the materialistic way. You know, these three modes won't affect when it is not going to affect when the living entity is unaffected by the modes of material nature, because he is unchanging and does not claim proprietorship. That means surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord or Guru, and everything connects to Krishna, feeling that all the proprietorship, all the enjoyership, all the controllership, and all the mastership directs to Supreme Lord. So, and the same servant mode. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das 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 Das. He remains apart from the reactions of the modes. He remains apart from the reactions of the modes. Even though, although abiding in a material body, that means material nature. Just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection on water. Purport. In the previous chapter, Lord Kapila Dev has concluded that simply by beginning the discharge of devotional service, one can attain detachment and transcendental knowledge for understanding the signs of God. Here, the same principle is confirmed. A person who is detached from the modes of material nature remains just like the sun reflected on water. When the sun is reflected on water, the sun is reflected on the water, when the sun is reflected on water, the movement of water or the coolness or unsteadiness of the water cannot affect the sun. Similarly, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, Bhagavatam 1.2.7. When one engages fully in the activities of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, he becomes just like the sun reflected on water. Although a devotee appears to be in the material world, actually, కొంచెం scroll down చేయండి, scroll up, scroll up, ప్రభుజీ, scroll up, ఇంకా scroll up చేయండి, చదవలేదు, పూర్తి కాలేదు, scroll up, yeah, actually, ఆగండి, actually he is in the transcendental world. That means when we engage our senses in the service of Supreme Lord, even though we have material body, even though we are situated in the material nature, it doesn't affect. That's what we are understanding. Very important words. Huh? Actually, he is in the transcendental world. As the reflection, no difference actually. Devotee can be situated in any material planetary system. Prahlad Maharaj prays that actually, I am ready to go to hell, but don't give me the forgetfulness of your lordship. That's it. I can serve anywhere, any part of the creation. He is in the transcendental world. Who is in the transcendental world? Although devotee appears to be in the material world, actually is in the transcendental world. When we engage ourselves in the, when we ourselves engage in the service of Supreme Lord. As the reflection of the sun appears to be on the water, but is many millions of miles away from the water. So one engaged in the Bhakti Yoga process is nirguna, or unaffected by the qualities of material nature. Next one, next paragraph. Avikara means without change. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that each and every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And thus his eternal position is to cooperate or dovetail his energy with the Supreme Lord, dovetailing process. That is the unchanging position. As soon as he employs his energy and activities for sense gratification, this change of position is called vikara. Vikara, avikara. Avikara means uh, serving Krishna, performing devotional service. Vikara means serving Maya, and in the sensual gratification, sensual pleasures. Similarly, even in this material body, when he practices devotional service under the direction of the Supreme Spiritual Master, he comes to the position which is without change, because that is the natural deity. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, liberation means reinstatement in one's original position. The original position is one of rendering uh, rendering service to the Lord. Bhakti Yogena, Bhaktya. When one becomes detached from material attraction and engages fully in devotional service, that is changeless. Akartrutvat means not doing anything for sense gratification. When one does something at his own risk, there is a sense of proprietorship and therefore a reaction. But when one does everything for Krishna, there is no proprietorship over the activities. By changelessness and by not claiming the proprietorship of activities, one can immediately situate himself in the transcendental position in which one is not touched by the modes of material nature, just as the reflection of the sun on the water. Scroll down here. Reflection of the sun is unaffected by the water. Okay. Text 2. Second one. Constitution for Purveshla Prabhupada ki jai. When the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, identifying his body as a self, he becomes absorbed in material activities. That is a problem. Vikara. And by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. So he conjectures in the teachings. Lord Kapiladev is giving instructions to teachings to his mother Devahuti. He conjectures in the enjoying mentality in the word from the teachings of Lord Kapiladev. Purport. Actually, the conditioned soul is forced to act under the pressure of the modes of material nature. Pressure. Prabhupada, no, pressure, correct. Always pressure. We are always in the pressure actually. Material world means we are always in the pressure. Anxiety, unhappiness, unhappiness, stress, because of pressing. Pressure is there. We are feeling the pressure of modes of material nature. The living entity has no independence. When he is under the direction of the Supreme Personality of God, he is free. But when under the impression that he is satisfying his senses, he engages in sense gratificatory activities. He is actually under the spell of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. One acts according to the particular modes of nature he has acquired. Guna refers to the qualities of nature. He is under the qualities of nature, but he falsely thinks that he is a proprietor. This false sense of proprietorship can be avoided simply by engaging oneself in devotional service under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his bona fide representative. Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita was trying to accept for himself the responsibility for killing his grandfather and teacher in the fight, but he became freed from that proprietorship of action when he acted under the direction of Krishna. He fought, but he was actually freed from the reactions of fighting. Although in the beginning, when he was non-violent, unwilling to fight, the entire responsibility was upon him. That is the difference between liberation and conditioning. A conditioned soul may be very good and act in the mode of goodness, but it still is conditioned under the spell of material nature. A devotee, however, acts completely under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Thus, his actions may not appear to be of a very high quality to the common man, but the devotee has no responsibility. Thank you, Prabhuji. You give it to devotees. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhuji. Who is Sagar Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sagar.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
please continue reading. Sagar Prabhu, this is from
Translation.
Bhagavatam. Okay, read.
Okay. I mean, you want me to read the translation or purport, Prabhu?
Both.
Translation and purport.
Yeah, both.
Okay. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The conditioned soul therefore transmigrates into different species of life, higher and lower, because of his association with the modes of material nature. Unless he is relieved of material activities, he has to accept this position because of his faulty work. Purport. Here the word karma dosai means by faulty actions. This refers to any activity, good or bad, performed in this material world. They are all contaminated, faulty actions because of material association. The foolish conditioned soul may think that he is offering charity by opening hospitals for material benefit or by opening an educational institution for material education. But he doesn't know that all such work is also faulty because it will not give him relief from the process of transmigration from one body to another. It is clearly stated here, Sad Asan Misra Yunisu. This means that one may take birth in a very high family or he may take his birth in a higher planet among the demigods for his so-called poised activities in the material world. But this work is also faulty because it doesn't give liberation. To take birth in the nice place or a high family doesn't mean that one avoids undergoing the material tribulations, the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease. A conditioned soul under the spell of material nature can't understand that any action he performs for sense gratification is faulty and that only his activities in. Can you scroll down, Prabhu, please? His activities in devotional service to the Lord can give him release from the reaction of faulty activities. Because he doesn't seize such a faulty activities, he has to change to different bodies, some high and some low. This is called samsara padavim, padavimum, which means this material world from which there is no release. One who desires material liberation has to turn his activities to devotional service. There is no alternative. Hare Krishna.
Can read one more, Prabhuji.
Hare. Okay. Actually, a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because of his mentality of lording it over material nature, his his existential condition doesn't cease, and just as in a dream, he is affected by all sorts of disadvantages. Purport. The example of a dream is very appropriate. Due to different mental conditions, in dreams we are put into advantageous and disadvantageous positions. Similarly, the spirit soul has nothing to do with his material nature, but because of his mentality of lording it over, he is put into the position of conditional existence. Conditional existence is described here as a dhyayato vishayan asya. Vishaya means an object of enjoyment. As long as one continues to think that he can enjoy material advantage, he is in a conditional life. But as soon as he comes to his senses, he develops the knowledge that he is not the enjoyer. For the only enjoyer is the supreme personality of the Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, 29 sloka, he is the beneficiary for all the results of sacrifices and penances, Bhaktaram Igna Tapasam. And he is the proprietor of all the three worlds. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the actual friend of all living entities, but instead of living proprietorship, enjoyment, and the actual position as a friend of all living entities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we claim that we are proprietors, the enjoyers, and the friends. We perform philanthropic work thinking that we are the friends of human society. Someone may proclaim himself to be very good national worker, the best friend of the people and of the country, but actually he can't be the greatest friend of everyone. The only friend is Krishna. One should try to raise the consciousness of conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated and he will get all help needed. Arousing this consciousness of the conditional soul is the greatest service, not posing oneself as a great friend of another living entity. The power of friendship is limited. Although one claims to be friend, he can't be a friend unlimitedly. There are an unlimited number of living entities, and our resources are limited. Therefore, we can't be of any real benefit to the people in general. The best service to the people in general is to awaken them to Krishna consciousness so that they may know that supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend is Krishna. Then this illusory dream of lording it over material nature will vanish. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mani Mataji. Are you available to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read, Mataji.
Translation. It is the duty of every conditioned soul to engage his polluted consciousness, which is now attached to material enjoyment, in a very serious devotional service with detachment. Thus, his mind and consciousness will be under full control. Perfect. The process of liberation is very nicely explained in the verse. The cause of one's becoming conditioned by material nature is his thinking himself the enjoyer, the proprietor, or the friend of all living entities. This false thinking is the result of contemplation on sense enjoyment. When one thinks that he is the best friend to his countrymen, to society, or to humanity, and he engages in various nationalistic, philanthropic, and altruistic activities, all this is just so much concentration on sense gratification. The so-called national leader or humanist does not serve everyone. He serves his senses only. That is a fact. But the conditioned soul cannot understand this because he is bewildered. Prabhuji, can you just scroll a bit? By the spell of material nature. It is therefore recommended that in this verse that one who engages very seriously in devotional service of the Lord, this means that one should not think that he is the proprietor, benefactor, friend, or enjoyer. He should always be cognizant with the real enjoyer. That the real enjoyer is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the basic principle of Bhakti Yoga. One must be firmly convinced of these three principles. One should always think that Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the enjoyer, and Krishna is the friend. Not only should he understand these principles himself, but he should try to convince others and propagate Krishna consciousness. As soon as one engages in such serious devotional service of the Lord, naturally the propensity to falsely claim lordship over material nature disappears. That detachment is called vairagya. Instead of being absorbed in so-called material lordship, one engages in Krishna consciousness, that is control of consciousness. The yoga process necessitates controlling the senses. Yoga indriya samyamaha. Since the senses are always active, their activity should be engaged in devotional service. One cannot stop their activities. if one wants to artificially stop the activities of the senses, his attempt will be a failure. Even the great yogi Vishwamitra, who was trying to control his senses by the yoga process, fell victim to the beauty of Menaka. There are many such instances. Unless one's mind and consciousness is fully engaged in devotional service, there is always the opportunity for the mind to become occupied with desire for sense gratification. One particular point mentioned in this verse is very significant. It is said here, Prasaktam astam pati. The mind is always attracted by asat, the temporary, material existence. Because we have been associated with material nature since time immemorial, we have become accustomed to our attachment to this temporary material nature. The mind has to be fixed at the eternal lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindaye. One has to fix the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Then everything will be very nice. Thus, the seriousness of Bhakti Yoga is stressed in this verse.
Thank you, Mataji. Lalitman Prabhuji, are you available? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Chandramukh Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Chandramukh Prabhuji.
ప్రభుజీ నేను డ్రైవింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను ప్రభుజీ జస్ట్ లిజనింగ్ మోడ్
ఓకే ఓకే ప్రభుజీ లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభుజీ హరే కృష్ణ
ప్రభు నేను కూడా రోడ్డు మీద ఉన్నా ప్రభు ఒక 2 minutes లో వెళ్తాను ఇంటికి ఈ లోపు ఎవరో చదవండి ప్రభు థ్యాంక్ యూ
ఓకే ఓకే ప్రభుజీ Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhuji, you can read. No? Hare Krishna. I'll read Prabhuji then. Yeah. Translation: One has to become faithful by practicing the controlling process of the yoga system. Must elevate himself to the platform of unallied devotional service by chanting and hearing about me. Purport: Yoga is practiced in 8 different stages. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Yama and Niyama mean practicing and controlling process by following strict regulation, and Asana refers to the sitting postures. These help rise one has to understand of faithfulness in devotional service. The practice of yoga by physical existence is not ultimate goal. The real end is to concentrate and control the mind and train oneself to be situated in the faithful devotional service. Bhavena or bhava is very important factor in the practice of yoga or any spiritual process. Bhava is explained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 10.8. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. One should be observed in the thought of love of Krishna. When one knows that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of everything and that everything emanates from him, Aham Sarvasva Prabhu, then the understands Vedanta Aporisam Janmadyasya, the original source of everything, and then he become absorbed in Bhava, or preliminary stage of love of Godhead. Rupa Goswami explained very nicely in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu how this bhava or preliminary stage of love of Godhead is achieved. He states that first of all has to become faithful. Shraddhayanvitaha. Faith is attained by controlling the senses, either by yoga practice, following rules and regulations, and practicing in sitting postures, or by engaging directly in Bhakti Yoga, as recommended in the previous verse. Of the 9 different items of Bhakti Yoga, the first and foremost is to chant and hear about Lord. That is also mentioned here. Matkata Shravanena cha. One may come to the standard of faithfulness by following the rules and regulations of the yoga system. And the same goal can be achieved by simply chanting, hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord. The word cha is significant. Bhakti Yoga is direct and the other process is indirect. But even the indirect process is taken, there is no success unless one comes to the direct process of hearing, chanting the glories of the Lord. Therefore, the word Satyena is used here. In this connection, Swami Sridhara comments on Satyena means Nishkapatena without duplicity. The impersonalists are full of duplicity. Sometimes they pretended to execute devotional service, but their ultimate idea is to become one with the Supreme. This is duplicity, kapata. The Bhagavatam does not allow this duplicity. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated, Paramo Nirmastaranam. This treatise Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for those who are completely free from enemy. The same point is being stressed here. Unless one is completely faithful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages himself in the process of hearing, chanting the glories of the Lord, there is no possibility for liberation. Hare Krishna. Sagar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. You can read now.
Prabhu, I
Lalit
can read now,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can read Prabhuji.
Translation. In executing devotional service, one has to see every living entity equally, without enmity towards anyone, yet without intimate connections with anyone. One has to observe celibacy, be grave, and execute his eternal activities, offering the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who seriously engages in devotional service is equal to all living entities. There are various species of living entities, but a devotee does not see the outward covering. He sees the inner soul inhabiting the body. Because each and every soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does not see any difference. That is the vision of a learned devotee. As explained in Bhagavad Gita, a devotee or a learned sage does not see any difference between a learned Brahmana, a dog, an elephant, or a cow. Because he knows that the body is the outer covering only, and that the soul is actually part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. A devotee has no enmity towards any living entity, but that does not mean that he mixes with everyone. That is prohibited. Aprasangataha means not to be in intimate touch with everyone. A devotee is concerned with his execution of devotional service, and he should therefore mix with the devotees only in order to advance his objective. He has no business mixing with others. But although he does not see anyone as his enemy, his dealings are only with persons who engage in devotional service. A devotee should observe the vow of celibacy. Celibacy does not necessitate that one be absolutely free from sex life. Satisfaction with one's wife is permitted also under the vow of celibacy. This is very great, Prabhu. Satisfaction with one's wife is permitted also under the vow of celibacy. The best policy is to avoid sex life altogether. That is preferable. Otherwise, a devotee can get married under religious principles and live peacefully with a wife. This is an oxymoron actually. Live peacefully. A devotee should not speak needlessly. A serious devotee has no time to speak of nonsense. He is always busy in Krishna consciousness. Whenever he speaks about Krishna. Mauna means silence. Silence does not mean that one should not speak at all, but that he should not speak of nonsense. He should be very enthusiastic in speaking about Krishna. Another important item described here is Swadharmena, or being exclusively occupied in one's eternal occupation, which is to act as eternal servitor of the Lord, or to act in Krishna consciousness. The next word, Baliyasa, means offering the results of all activities to Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee does not act on his personal account for sense gratification. Whatever he earns, whatever he eats, and whatever he does, he offers for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Madhavi Mataji, are you able to read? Amo? Drop the show, no? Hare Krishna, Madhavi Mataji. Sagar Prabhuji, you can read Prabhuji now?
Hare Krishna, I can read,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
you can read. Yeah.
Translation. For his income, a devotee should be satisfied with what he earns without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. He should live in a secluded place and always be thoughtful, peaceful, friendly, compassionate, and self-realized. Purport. Everyone who has accepted a material body must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. A devotee should only work for such income as is absolutely necessary. He should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more and more simply to accumulate the unnecessary. A person in the conditioned state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn some with the object of lording it over material nature. Kapilideva instructs that we should not endeavor hard for things which may come automatically without extraneous labor. The exact word used in this connection, yadra, okay, yadrachaya, means that every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress in his present body. This is called the law of karma. It is not possible that simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. In reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his prescribed karma. According to the Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with a dangerous or miserable condition without endeavoring for them. And similarly, we may have prosperous conditions without endeavoring for them. We are advised to let these things come as predestined. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. In other words, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. If by predestination one is put into a certain condition of life which is not very prosperous in comparison to another's position, one should not be disturbed. He should simply try to utilize his valuable time to advance in Krishna consciousness. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any materially prosperous or distressed condition. It is free from the conditions imposed by material life. A very poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be very satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Another word here is mitabuk. Mitabuk. This means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. One should not be gluttonous to satisfy the tongue. Grains, fruits, milk, and similar foods are allotted for human consumption. One should not be excessively eager to satisfy the tongue and eat that which is not meant for humanity. Particularly, a devotee should eat only prasada or food which is offered to the personality of Godhead. His position is to accept the remains of those foodstuffs. Innocent foods like grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, and milk preparation are offered to the Lord, and therefore there is no scope for offering foods which are in the mode of passion and ignorance. A devotee should not be greedy. It is also recommended that the devotee should be Muni or thoughtful. We should always think of Krishna and how to render better service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That should be his only anxiety. As a materialist is always thoughtful about improving his material condition, a devotee's thoughts should always be engaged in improving his condition in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he should be a Muni. The next item recommended is that a devotee should live in a secluded place. Generally, a common man is interested in pounds, shillings, and finance and pence or materialistic advancement in life. which is unnecessary for a devotee. A devotee should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. It is recommended that he live in a place where there is no larger number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secluded place. Vivikta Sarana. The next item is Santa or peacefulness. The devotee should not be agitated. He should be satisfied with his natural income, eat only as much as he needs to keep his health, live, live in a secluded place, and always remain peaceful. Peace of mind is necessary for prosecuting Krishna consciousness. The next item is Maitra, friendliness. A devotee should be friendly to everyone, but his intimate his intimate friendship should be with devotees only. With others, he should be official. He may say yes, sir. What you say is all right, but he's he's not intimate with them. A devotee should, however, have a compassion for a person who are innocent, who are neither atheistic, not very much advanced in spiritual realization. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan or situated in his spiritual position. He should not forget that his main concern is to make advancement in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness, and he should not ignorantly identify himself with the body of the mind. Atma means the body or the mind. But here the word Atmavan especially means that one should be self-possessed. He should always remain in pure consciousness that he is spiritual soul and not the material body, not the mind. That will make him progress confidently in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. You're reading very nicely, actually.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Yeah. So where you connected, Prabhuji? I am seeing first time, Prabhuji.
Actually, I'm staying at Bachpali Prabhu. Every Sunday I went to our Gachibowli Bhakti Center.
Okay. Sagar, Prabhuji. Okay, sir, me
So
video on
I
Prabhuji. Okay. I remember, Prabhuji.
I'm not an initiator, Prabhu.
Yeah. I understood, Prabhuji. I mean, you saw me, right? I mean, you last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we were meeting, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah. I think your good name, Prabhu.
Raju, Prabhuji.
I think I make
You are asking about Prasad, Prabhuji, regarding me only, right?
Yes. At Nijam, sir, right? Yes.
Yeah. Your readings very nicely, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you. Please join whenever possible for you.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thanks.
So we read Prabhuji Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, like that, one chapter from one Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. We are continuing from last 3-4 years.
Okay. Sir. Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Madhavi Mataji, you are able to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Translation. One seeing power should be increased through knowledge of spirit and matter, and one shouldn't unnecessarily identify himself with the body and thus become attracted by bodily relationships. So, the conditioned souls are eager to identify with the body and consider that the body is myself, and that anything in relationship with the body or possessions of the body is me. In Sanskrit, this is called aham mamata, and it is the root cause of all conditioned life. A person should see things as the combination of matter and spirit. He should distinguish between the nature of matter and nature of spirit, and his real identification should be spirit, not matter. By this knowledge, one should avoid the false bodily combination of life. Prabhuji, next to
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Mataji, sorry. Yeah, please continue.
one should be situated in the transcendental position beyond the stages of material consciousness and should be aloof from all other consciousness manifestation of conception of life. Thus, relation freedom from false ego. One should see his own self just as he sees the sun in the sky. Purpose. Consciousness acts in three stages under the material conception of life. When we are awake, consciousness acts in a particular way. And when we are asleep, it acts in a different way. And when we are in deep sleep, consciousness acts in still another way. To become Krishna conscious, one has to become transcendental to these three stages of consciousness. Our present consciousness should be freed from all perceptions of life other than consciousness of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called Duri Bhutanya Darshanaha, which means that when one attains Krishna consciousness, he doesn't see anything but Krishna. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that the perfect devotee may see many movable and immovable objects, but in everything he sees that the energy of Krishna is acting. As soon as he remembers the energy of Krishna, he immediately remembers Krishna in his personal form. Therefore, in all his observations, he sees Krishna only. In the Brahma Samhita 5.38, it is stated that when one's eyes are smeared with love of Krishna, Premanjana Churita, he always sees Krishna outside and inside. This is confirmed here. One should be freed from all other vision, and in that way, he is freed from the false egoistic identification and sees himself as eternal survivor of the Lord. Chakshu Seva comes. As we can see the sun without a doubt, one who is fully developed in Krishna consciousness sees Krishna and his energy. By this vision, one becomes Atmadruv or self-realized. When the false ego of identifying the body with the self is removed, actual vision of life is perceivable. The senses therefore also become purified. Real service of the Lord begins when the senses are purified. One doesn't have to stop the activities of the senses, but the false ego of identifying with the body has to be removed. Then the senses automatically become purified, and with purified senses, one can actually discharge devotional service. Prabhuji, can you scroll down? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Raju Prabhu. Can you scroll down?
Raju Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, maybe internet issue. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji dropped off because of the maybe connectivity issue. Haribol, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Verse number ఏంటి మాతాజీ అది? Sir, let me try to see.
327. Yeah. He sent the message, power cut it.
సారీ మాతాజీ వర్స్ నెంబర్ గుర్తుందా 327 లో?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's 327.9.
9. Okay. Yeah. 327.9. ఇక్కడ షేర్ చేయాలనుకున్నాను. Let me try. Share. So we are you are able to see, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Please continue, Mata. Sorry for the delay and whatever. Internet. Chalo. Yeah, read Mata.
Next, I think next one, Prabhu. Mine. Yeah, yeah, this one.
In Sanskrit, this is called aham mamata.
Yeah, in Sanskrit, this is called aham mamata, and it is the root cause of all conditioned life. A person should see things as the combination of matter and spirit. He should distinguish between the nature of matter and the nature of spirit, and his real identification should be with spirit, not with matter. By this knowledge, one should avoid the false bodily concept of life.
Yeah. Next, also, your voice is not bra. How are you, Mata? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Want to read one more? Yeah. Read.
Translation. One should be situated in a transcendental position, beyond the stages of material consciousness, and should be aloof from all the conception of life, thus realizing freedom from false ego. One should see his own self, just as he sees the sun. ప్రభు ఇది కూడా అయిపోయినట్లుంది. ఇది లాస్ట్ లో స్క్రోల్ డౌన్ చేయాలి. Yeah. Yes. The senses therefore also become purified. Real service of the real service of the Lord begins when the senses are purified. One doesn't have to stop the activities of the senses, but the false ego of playing with the body has to be removed. Then the senses automatically become purified, and with purified senses, one can actually start devotional service.
Yeah, thank you, Mata. False ego of identifying with the body has to be removed. False ego మనల్ని వేధించేది. వెరీ సటిల్ ఎలిమెంట్ మన కంటికి కనబడది, బట్ మనం చేసేదంతా దాంతో. ఫాల్స్ ఈగో ఒక భూతంలా ఉంటుంది అనమాట, మనల్ని పట్టి పీడిస్తుంది. బట్ వెన్ వి సరెండర్ ద లోటస్ ఫీట్ ఆఫ్ సుప్రీం లార్డ్, ఇట్ బికమ్స్ ట్రూ ఈగో. అది Hari bol, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Mata, you want to read one more?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. ఇంకొక ఒకటి చదవండి. అందరు అయిపోయినట్టేనా? లలిత్ మోహన్ మీరు చదివిందా?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah. We will recite the sloka దీని తర్వాత. చదవండి Mata, last. Yeah.
Absolute personality of Godhead, who is transcendental and who is manifest as a reflection even in false ego. He is the support of the material cause, and he enters into everything. He is absolute, one without a second, and he is the eyes of the illusionary energy. Purpose. A pure devotee can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything materially manifested. He is present there only as a reflection. But a pure devotee can realize that in the darkness of material illusion, the only light is the Supreme Lord. Who is its support? It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the background of the material manifestation is Lord Krishna. And as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Krishna is the cause of all causes. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Supreme Lord, by his partial or plenary expansion, is present not only within the universe and each and every universe, but in every atom. Although he is one without a second, the word Advayam, without a second, which is used in this verse, indicates that although the Supreme indicates that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is represented in everything, including the atoms, he is not debated. His presence in everything is explained in the next verse. Thank you, Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for reading. Thank you all the devotees for reading today. Chandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We will continue from this 3.27.12 verse on Monday. I'm just posting in the group so that we will. Prabhuji is experiencing power cut, so that is the thing. Sorry. Okay, so we'll continue with our recitations. Today is last two verses of this Vritasura one more time. Then Monday onward, we will continue two more verses, part of 6th Canto Bhakti Vaibhava exam, last verses. Okay, let me share. I am connecting from mobile. Just wait, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. మొన్న ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసినట్టున్నారు కదా ప్రభు లలిత్ మన్ ప్రభు లెట్ మీ సీ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు సీ
ఏం ప్రభుజీ అది? ఇది కాకుండా వేరేది అప్పుడు
వేరేది కాదు, ఇదే ఒకసారి చేద్దాము అయిపోతుంది. మండే నుండి ఇంకా రెండు ఉన్నాయి, ఆ రెండు వరకు మండే చేద్దాం. మండే చేసి ఇక ఆల్ ద సిక్స్ లో ఒకసారి అందరం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే అయిపోతుంది. ఇక నేను ఒక ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తున్నాను. లెట్ మీ ఓపెన్ దట్ ఆల్సో.
మీకు దొరికిన 4 శ్లోకాలది నేను పంపించాలా?
పంపిస్తున్నా ప్రభు, దొరికింది.
దొరికిందా?
నెక్స్ట్ 2 చేద్దామా లేకపోతే కలిపి చేద్దామా ప్రభు? వృత్తాసుర ప్రేయర్ చెప్పండి, 4 కలిసి చేద్దామా?
మీ ఇష్టం ప్రభు, ఎట్లైనా పర్లా.
4 కలిపి
అంటే
చేద్దాం.
ప్రాక్టీస్ అయితే అయింది కదా అందరికి. నిన్న ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసినట్టున్నారు వీళ్ళు. నేను జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి ప్రభు. నేను
అయితే 4 కలిసి చేద్దామని చెప్తాను. దీంతో ఒకటి ఆ నెక్స్ట్ 2 సపరేట్ గా నేర్చుకోవచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ 2 వర్సెస్ అన్నారు. 2 more. Yeah. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes,
yeah,
Prabhu.
no problem. Screen means you didn't share anything as of now.
Screen వచ్చింది. Okay. Floating windows. Share Google Drive image file, screen. Okay. Zoom will start capturing everything that is displayed on your screen. Okay. Hello. Floating windows. What is floating windows? WhatsApp. Okay. Only already devotees from the phones. I have forwarded those two screen prints versus messages. Okay. ఆ 4 శ్లోకాలు మొబైల్ ఫోన్లోనే రీసైట్ చేద్దాం. ఐఎమ్ అనేబుల్ టు షేర్ సమ్ హౌ. నేను ఫోన్లోనే కనెక్ట్ అయినా, సో అందుకని. సో ఓపెన్ చేయండి, ఫోన్ల నుంచే చదవండి. 26, 27, యాక్చువల్లీ 24, 25, 26, 27 4 వర్సెస్ చూస్తారా ప్రభు? మీరు ఫోన్లో యూజ్ చేయండి ప్రభు.
Okay, Prabhuji.
VRC group. Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam 6.11.24. The transcendental qualities of Vritasura. Aham hare tava padaikamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manasmareta supatirgunamste grinitava karma karotu kayah. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.11.25. Nanakhaprishtham na cha parameshtyam na sarvabhaumam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhi apunarbhavam va samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.11.26. Ajata paksha iva mataram khada sanyam yathavat satarakshudartah priyam priyeva vyushitam vishanna manoravindakshadidrikshite tvam. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.11.27. Mamottama-shloka-janeshu sakyam samsara-chakre brahmata-swakarmati tvanmayayatma-atmajadarage shvasakta-chittasya nanata bhuyat. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will do, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me, right? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Audible.
Yeah, I will do from this Vritasura prayers. This chapter from 6th canto, 11th chapter. 11th chapter of 6th canto entitled as The Transcendental Qualities of Vritasura. Text 24, 25, 26 and 27. These 4 verses. Because I am writing exam, I want to read translation also. Please devotees, please hear nicely. Aham hare tava padaikamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuya manasmarate shupatergunamste grinitava karma karotu kaya. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes. My words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. Text 25. Nanakapristam nachaparameshtyam nasarvabhaumam narasadipatyam na yoga siddhir apunarbhavam va samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. O my Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Drivaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all earthly planets or the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be master of the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. Text 26. अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगा स्तन्यं यतावत्सततर स्तन्यं यतावत्सतराक्षुदार्ता प्रियं प्रियेव व्युषितं विषन्ना मनोरवीन्दाक्षदिदीक्षते त्वाम्. O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small cows tied with ropes await anxiously on the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Last verse, 27 verse. ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमत स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्माययात्मात्मजदारगे स्व आसक्तचित्तस्य ननाथ भूयात्. O my Lord, my Master, I am wandering throughout this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees, company of devotees, good devotees. My attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy, but I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything have to be attached only to you. My attraction and attachment only towards you. Vritasura prayers. Vani Mata, you want to do? Hare Krishna, are you there? Mata unnara? Let me see. Vani Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
అయితే ఫోన్ లో కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి చూస్ చేయండి.
Yes, Prabhuji. अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगा स्तन्यं यथावत्सतरा क्षुद्ध अर्था प्रियं प्रियेव विशुतं विषन्ना मनोरविन्दाक्षदृदृक्षते त्वाम्. Translation. Prabhuji, I will also read the translation because they have to write exam too. Should I? Okay. Oh, lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds have not yet developed their wings, always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously in times of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mother, or as morose wife whose husband is away from home always long for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Sorry, Prabhuji, and I've lost my screen. One moment, I'm just taking time. Yeah. ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमत स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्माययात्मात्मजदारगेः स्व आसक्तचित्तस्य ननाथ भूयात्. Translation. Oh my Lord, my Master, I'm wandering throughout this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. My attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy. But I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you. Oh God, మళ్ళీపోయింది. ప్రభుజీ ఇంకా ఉన్నాయా రెండు కాకుండా?
24 and 25 మాతాజీ.
మాతాజీ మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ లో అట్లనే రాస్తారు కదా, 26, 27 ఫస్ట్, దెన్ 24, 25 తర్వాత కదా?
Prabhuji, I'm struggling with my phone, Prabhuji. Adi poyindi asalu screen.
We are struggling with material world, Mataji, not only phone.
Yes, Prabhuji. That is so true. I agree.
24, 25 కూడా చదవండి Mataji.
ఒక్క నిమిషం Prabhuji. Yeah. కనిపించింది. Finally. Okay. Aham Hare Tava Padayikamula Dasanudaso Bhavitasmi Bhuya Manasmarita Shupatir Gunamste Grinita Vakkarma Karotu Kaya. Oh my Lord, oh Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servants so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ट्यं न सर्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसत्वा विरहाय काङ्क्षे. Translation: O my Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be in the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets, or all the lower. Oh God, Krishna, Mali pointi Prabhuji. Sorry. Yeah, actually. To be a supreme ruler of all earthly planets or all the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be the master of all the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. Thank you, Prabhuji, for bearing with me.
Thank you. Citation, Mataji. Haribol. Yeah, next. Next ఎవరు చేశారు? మాధవి మాతాజీ, మురళీధర్ ప్రభు,
శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం స్టార్ట్ ఉండకుండా అహం హరిదావపాదైకమూల దాసానుదాసో భవితాస్మి భూయ మనస్మర్యత స్పాత గుణంస్తే గృణీతవ కర్మ కరోతు కాయ. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం స్టార్ట్ ఉండకుండా నాకృతం న చ పారమేత్యం న సర్వభౌమం న రసాధిపత్యం న యోగసిద్ధిరపునర్భవం వా సమంజసత్వా విరహాయ కాంక్షే. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 6.11-20. అజాతపక్ష ఇవ మాతరం కాగా తన్యం యతావతరాక్షుదాత ప్రియం ప్రియేవా వృషితం విసన్న మనోరవిందాక్షదిద్రీక్షతే త్వాం. శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం 6.11-27. మమోత్తమ శ్లోక జనేషు సఖ్యం సంసారచక్రే ప్రమతా స్వకర్మభి త్వన్మాయయాత్మా త్వమాచతారగే స్వసక్తచిత్తస్య ననాథ భూయా. థ్యాంక్ యూ Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will do it.
Yeah, please.
6.11.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. అహం హరే తవ పాదైకమూల దాసానుదాసో భవితాస్మి భూయః మనస్మరేత శుపతిర్ గుణాంస్తే గృణీత వా కర్మ కరోతు కాయః. Next 25. నాకపృష్టం న చ పారమేష్ట్యం న సార్వభౌమం న రసాధిపత్యం న యోగసిద్ధిరపునర్భవం వా समञ्जसत्वा विरहय काङ्क्षे नेक्स्ट 26 अजातपक्ष इव मातरं खगा स्थान्यं यथा वत्सराक्षुदात्तः प्रियं प्रियेव युषितं विसन्ना मनोरविन्दाक्ष दिदृक्षते त्वाम् 27 ममोत्तमश्लोक जनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमता स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्मयायत्मजदारगृहे आसक्तचित्सया नाथ भूयात् हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Thank you, Prabhu. Muralidhar Prabhu, Jai.
अहं हरे तव पादैकमूला दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूयः मनस्मरेता सुपतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतव कर्म करोतु काया न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिर्पुनर्भुवं वा समञ्जसत्वा विरहय्यकाङ्क्षे अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगा स्तन्यं यतावत् सतराक्षुदार्ताः प्रियं प्रियेवायुषितं विषण्णा मनोरविन्दाक्षदिदृक्षते त्वाम् नमोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमत स्वकर्मभिः तन्माययात्मात्मज स्वासक्तचित्तस्य ननाथ भूयात्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
So nice, Prabhu. Lalit Mohan Prabhu, very happy for you.
ఇన్నిసార్లు విన్నా కదా ప్రభుజీ, అందుకనే కొంచెం వచ్చింది.
మాతాజీ చేస్తారా మీ మాతాజీ?
చేస్తారు ప్రభుజీ.
మీ మాతాజీ పేరు ఏం పేరు?
చంద్రకళ మాతాజీ. చంద్రకళ మాతాజీ ప్రభు.
మాతాజీ చేయండి.
24, 25, 26, 27.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण. अहं हरे तव पादैकमूला दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूयः मनस्मरेता सुपतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतव कर्म करोतु कायः न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ट्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसत्वा विरहय्यकाङ्क्षे अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगाः स्तन्यं एतावत् सत्राः क्षुधार्ताः प्रियं प्रियेवाविषितं विषण्णा मनोरविन्दाक्षदिदिक्षुते त्वाम् ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमतः स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्माययात्यात्मजदारगेः शाशक्तचित्तस्य ननाथ भूयात्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
వెరీ నైస్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మాతాజీ. అందరు అయిపోయినట్టే. ఒక సాగర్ ప్రభు, మీరు మా గ్రూప్ లో ఉన్నారా ప్రభు? వెదర్ రీడింగ్ క్లబ్ గ్రూప్ లో సాగర్ ప్రభు? Sagar Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Okay. Your number, Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu. Sorry. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, మీ
బయట
నంబర్
ప్రభు బయట
మా గ్రూప్ లో ఉన్నారా మీరు? వేదా రీడింగ్ క్లబ్ గ్రూప్ లో?
తెలియదు ప్రభు.
నా నెంబర్ చాట్ లో పెడుతున్నా, నాకు ఒకసారి మెసేజ్ చేయరా?
ఉన్నా ప్రభు, ఆ గ్రూప్ లో నా గురించి సారీ ప్రభు, ఉన్నాను నేను.
అక్కడ ఉన్నా ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. యూ కెన్ కంటిన్యూ జాయినింగ్. యా ప్రభు, మీరు ఈ గ్రూప్ లో జాయిన్ అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఈ శ్లోకాలు
జాయిన్ అవుతాను ప్రభు.
అయితే మీకు ఆ నంబర్ ఇస్తాను, నా నంబర్ కి మీరు మెసేజ్ పెట్టరా గ్రూప్ లో? ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ పెడుతున్నా చాట్ లా,
సరే ప్రభు.
తీసుకొని ఒక మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి, యాడ్ చేసి మీరు జాయిన్ అవ్వండి రెగ్యులర్ గా.
సరే ప్రభు.
పెట్టాను చూడండి, 9701967520. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, devotees, for the recitation of the Bhagavatam prayers, Vritasura prayers, very important. Next week we'll continue 2 more prayers. Then we'll wrap up now here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you so much. Have a happy Krishna conscious weekend. Thank God it's
Hare
Friday.
Krishna.
Thank God.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lalit Mohan Prabhuji, for making us learning all new slokas, which we doesn't have eligible for touch the book also.
Yeah. We must be grateful for the happiness we are getting while reciting. Thank you so much.